And we're live here once again, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by as we get a little bit of a blast to the past here tonight. 7 years ago, 2013, I remember this one. I was back in high school, I think. This was my junior year of high school. And I was at baseball tryouts during the day that this game was actually going on back in 2013. But man, what an upset. I'm going to call it for you guys today here. Florida Gulf Coast, Cinderella team of the 2013 March Madness tournament, number 15 for their seed, taking on the number two seeded Georgetown Hoyas. This was back in the 2013 March Madness tournament here for the play-by-play. A little blast of the past here for college basketball. So welcome in here, guys. Jacob, Gonzaga fan, Vaughn. What is good? Thanks so much for stopping by here on the channel. Once again, things have been hectic my way like the past 2 days or so since I'm considered to be an essential worker, and I had a lot of stuff going on, especially at work the past 2 nights. But glad to be back here tonight, as always, for you guys here with the play-by-play. And we'll get to this game here in just a couple of minutes. So Florida Gulf Coast, number 15 seed, made a run to the Sweet 16 as they played Georgetown in the first round, and it was the Dunk City team that they coined them back 7 years ago. Second round, they won against San Diego State by 10, 81-71. And then in the third round in the Sweet 16, they ran out of gas. They lost against Florida, though, 62-50. But what a run there for the 15 seed back in 2013 for Florida Gulf Coast. And taking a look at these rosters, Florida Gulf Coast, no NBA players were on this roster here for them back in 2013 for Georgetown. Their 2013 roster, it was led by Otto Porter, who now currently plays for the Chicago Bulls for this season. But Otto Porter had a double-double in this game, 13 points, 11 rebounds. We'll get ready for the play-by-play of this one in just a moment here, everybody. So, great one in store here. I was a junior back in high school when I remember this game, 2013. And I'll call play-by-play for everybody here on the channel. So, we're going to start off the stream. Number 2, Georgetown, taking on number 15, Florida Gulf Coast. Welcome in all to the broadcast here. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're new, hit the subscribe button as well. Notification bell goes a long way as well also. So, we're going to start the play-by-play of this one. Alright, so Georgetown taking on Florida Gulf Coast. This is part of March Madness, first round back in 2013. And this looks like it was hosted at Philadelphia. So, Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for this game. Hey, welcome in, Colin here. Thanks so much, man, for stopping by. So, this is number 15 versus number 2, 7 years ago, back in 2013. The winner of this game took on the winner of San Diego State versus Oklahoma, which Florida Gulf Coast won against San Diego State in the second round. Yeah, I heard about that, Vaughn. They postponed the Olympics yesterday until 2021. So, very smart choice there by the Olympic Committee to finally do so, because there's no chance in the world for the Olympics to be running anytime soon. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, but we're gonna have to wait another year. Oh wow, Colin's watching Lehigh versus Duke, the rerun right now. Awesome, man. Hey, welcome in here, Vegas Fix. Hope all is well. Hopefully all is well with his mobile learning you got going on right there with electronic learning and everything that you guys have been doing. I remember this one, flashback to my junior year of high school, 2013, with Florida Gulf Coast versus Georgetown. I actually didn't watch this game. I was at baseball tryouts. This game was earlier on in the day, so I wasn't able to see it. I had baseball tryouts during this day that it took place, and I remember this day. It was just freak weather outside. It was like 80 degrees up here in New England on that day in March. This one, it was March 22nd, 2013 when this game was played. Hey, welcome in. I don't know anymore. What is good, man? Thanks so much for stopping by again. So the only player out of this to play in the NBA from these two rosters is Otto Porter. He plays in the Georgetown Hoyas for this one and currently plays for the Chicago Bulls this season. He was picked up number 3, or picked in the first round, pick number 3 of the 2013 draft by the Washington Wizards. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Vegas Fix. Prayers to the teacher at Lonsdale Elementary. Wow. Prayers to the teacher there. Man. My town where I live in, they had their first case today. This is just a real concern right now. Everybody's going to take this seriously. Alright, we're going to get ready to tip off this one, 15 versus 2. Going down in Philadelphia. Yeah, I heard about that, Vaughn. India's on lockdown now for the next 3 weeks. Florida Gulf Coast going in the blue jerseys for this game. I think they got like the dark green letters and numbers. Georgetown in the white jerseys with the blue letters and numbers. Gonzaga fan wants me to do back in the past in the NFL. This is a basketball channel here, so I'm kind of like focusing on the basketball content and stuff like that. The football channel isn't monetized. That's why I haven't really done much on like the football channel. As we already have a bucket like that, Florida Gulf Coast scores. Right after the tip, they go dribble drive into lane. They score for 2. 2-zip now, 30 seconds through in the first half. Georgetown with the basketball, left wing. Passes over low post. They're going to float it up. No good. A lot of contact, though. It's going to be a foul here. I think it's going to be on Florida Gulf Coast. It's going to send Georgetown to the free throw line to shoot 2. It looks like coming up now. 19:28 remaining. Yeah, Mass extended their school until May 4th. So my entire family works in the school district, so they're at home all the way until early May. It's crazy. First shot, no good. Missed free throw at the line by Georgetown by Michael Hopkins. He'll have a second one coming up. Hey, welcome in. Jack is back here. Thanks so much, Jack, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hey, welcome in. Floodster over on Sportscaster. Thanks so much, man, for stopping by. Free throw is good at the line. Georgetown is got the free throw. It's 2-1 Florida Gulf Coast. 19:23 left to go in the first half as we just started to stream. A little flashback to the past here with college basketball 7 years ago. 15 versus 2 Cinderella and Florida Gulf Coast going to the Sweet 16. Georgetown now with the ball. FGCU just turned it over. Georgetown has it. Passes right corner perimeter. Dribbles now. Takes the jumper. Right elbow. It is up. It is good for 2 there. And Georgetown leads by 1. 3-2 the score. Florida Gulf Coast gets past the half-court trap. Now they dribble inside. Floats it up with the right hand. That one's too high off the mark. And we get a foul as well. I think it's gonna be offensive here. Yeah, it's gonna be an offensive foul by Florida Gulf Coast. It's gonna go right back over. Oh, it's gonna be goaltend. It's gonna be goaltend by Georgetown. So that's why they reverse right now. 4-3. Goaltend was on Georgetown. 4-3. Florida Gulf Coast by 1. Georgetown will inbound it. First minute through the game. Georgetown's got the basketball. Takes it past the half-court logo. Von Tamar is asked to do a Zoom video conferencing meeting with his math teacher. Oof. Good luck to you, man. 3-point shot. That one's off the mark. No good by Georgetown. Rebounds right back over here by Florida Gulf Coast. FGCU's got the basketball. Left wing perimeter now. Into the hands of Brett Comer. Comer passes top of the key over to Feeler. Feeler swings it over left corner. They're going to take a 3. It's up. No good off the back guy. Rebound by Georgetown here. The Hoyas have the basketball now with Porter. Porter passes that one inside. Low post, and we're going to have a foul right there in the low post. It's going to send, I think, Nate Lubeck to the free throw line to shoot some shots here for Georgetown. Oh, wow. Chris Sale went to Florida Gulf Coast. So, school profile there out in Fort Myers, Florida, as Georgetown will go to the line trailing by 1. First shot's up. No good. Missed the free throw. At the line there by the Hoyas by Nate Lubeck. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit too early for that call. I'm shocked that Charlie Baker already did it today. I feel like it's a little bit too early for that call. I know Rhode Island postponed their air show they have in Quonset, I think, in like June, which I think it's going to be like a thing that only time will tell. I feel like 4-3 the score. 2 minutes through now the first half. Florida Gulf Coast with the basketball top of the key. Moves it over now. Left elbow passes around the perimeter. Moves it out to the right wing for the Eagles. Now they go right baseline. Floats it up. That shot hits the side of the rim. They get the offensive rebound. Puts it up, and the ball goes up and in for 2 right there by the Eagles. They extend the lead 6-3. Oof, I hear you, but it was so cringy doing the Zoom conference meeting. Oof. 6-3 to score. 17:40 left to go in the first half. Georgetown basketball. They dribble past the half-court logo, pass it now left wing perimeter. Get the ball back into the hands of Hopkins. Hopkins moves it over top of the key here to Lubick. Lubick looking to pass it someplace. He's got it top of the key. 17.5 left to go. Hands this one off to Michael Starks. Starks passes over top of the key now to Porter. Porter going inside, floats it up, and that one goes up and in off the backboard, but it's not going to count as that will be an offensive foul by Georgetown. Ball goes right back over to Florida Gulf Coast with 17:20 remaining. So just ran over the defender in the lane, and Florida Gulf Coast will get it right back. The Eagles now with the ball past the half-court perimeter. Especially Google Meet as well. Ooh, a lot of video conferencing things you guys got going on now in school. Florida Gulf Coast passes right corner shot fake. Going to take a deep two. It is up. It is no good off the mark. Rebound over by Porter. And that's going to be a foul on the rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. Georgetown will get it right back. 16:54 left to go. Georgetown to inbound coming up. Finally closed the basketball courts in my area. So nobody is allowed on the basketball courts now. Georgetown dribbles past the half-court logo, moves it over left wing perimeter for the Hoyas. Hoyas basketball swings it over right wing. Into the hands of Lubick. Lubick passes top of the key now, 16.5 remaining. Passes over free throw circle. Hopkins moves it over left corner. That's a three taken. It's off the mark. No good. They get the offensive rebound, though. Georgetown passes inside. Low post. They put up the shot too high off the backboard. And it gets rebounded back over by Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles got the basketball. Moves it over now. Right wing perimeter. Dribbles inside. Swings it back. Left corner open. Going to take the three. It's no good. Off the mark. Rebound goes back to Georgetown. Let's see. Did I see what is the Indian police what the Indian police are doing to the Indian people? I actually don't. I actually did not see. I know they're in lockdown, though, for the next 3 weeks for India. As Georgetown hits the jumper, Florida Gulf Coast misses their shot. Rebound back over to Georgetown. The Hoyas got it. 15:50 remaining. Oh, man. Vegas Fix's got Friday. He's got to join his English class on Zoom. Oh, man, I feel for you, brother. Yeah, I heard about that. Wuhan's lifting it April 8th. So finally some good signs there as Georgetown goes into the key, gets it a fall. Florida Gulf Coast going the other way, right baseline dribble, and they get fouled in the low post. Stops the clock. 15.5 remaining. We're gonna go to the first TV timeout of the game right now. 7-6 to score as Georgetown leads by 1. Wow, Marquette was a 3 seed in this tournament back in 2013. Miami was a 2 seed. They took on Pacific as the 15 seed. Colorado was a 10, took on Illinois as a 7. Davidson was a 14, took on Marquette. And Butler was a 6, took on Bucknell. Bucknell was an 11 seed back in 2013. Hey, welcome in Patrick here. Thanks so much, bud, for stopping by. Wow, it was 2013 when LaSalle got a tournament win. LaSalle was a 13 seed. That won against Kansas State. I should have took note of that last year in my bracket. Kansas State was a 4 seed. They lost to UC Irvine. They were a 4 seed back in 2013. They lost to LaSalle. All right, we're back to action. This game is in Philadelphia. Flashback to the past. I was a junior in high school. Didn't actually see this game. I was at baseball tryouts this day. But Florida Gulf Coast 15 seed start out their Cinderella run here in the first round against number 2 seeded Georgetown. 7-6 to score. Georgetown now with the basketball. 15:15 left to go in the first half. Passes top of the key. Gonna take a 3. It's off the mark. Rebounds by the Eagles here. Florida Gulf Coast now with the ball. Hey, welcome in here, Isaac, man. Thanks so much for stopping by and Sportscaster. I appreciate it, bud. Florida Gulf Coast has got it. Moves it over around the perimeter. Shot fake. Left elbow. Bounce pass over to the left baseline. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's going to be touched by Georgetown. So the Eagles will get it right back. Hey, welcome in, Rob here. Thanks so much for stopping by and Sportscaster as well. 14:56 remaining. Little blast to the past here. Florida Gulf Coast gets the inbound, goes inside with it, and they put it up and in for 2 off the backboard. 8-7 is the score. Eagles by 1, Georgetown ball. Georgetown has it. Right wing perimeter dribbling with the basketball for the Hoyas, as that is Michael Hopkins. Hopkins passes over. They're going to take a three. It is up, and it is good. Hoyas hit it. They lead by 2 now, 10-8. 14.5 remaining. Let's see here. Did I hear somebody on a bus breathing some contaminated rodent odor? And oof, it was in China. Oh, jeez. Hopefully, nothing else starts now after this one. I hope not. Oh, Vaughn's putting out Indian police are slapping Indians in the head and slapping Indians with a stick in the legs. Oof. Don't want that to happen if you get caught on the streets. In India's Florida Gulf Coast shoots the three and hits the three right there off the back iron. Went into the net for three. 13:50 remaining. Georgetown basketball. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Patrick listened to this game on the radio back then. That's awesome, man. Georgetown's got it left corner. Passes over top of the key. Now moves it over to Otto Porter. Otto Porter here plays for the Chicago Bulls this season. So he was a first-round draft pick back in 2013. Number 3 overall pick back in 2013 for Otto Porter. Played for Georgetown back on this team. Oh, jeez. So apparently it was another one they're trying to start up. Xanta virus or something like that. Oh, jeez. Once one is done, another one starts up. This is unfortunate. Oof. This is quite nerve-wracking these days nowadays. Tough days to get through, but we're going to get through it together. Georgetown, low post, dribble drive right there. Missed the layup, too high off the backboard. Rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles got the basketball up by 1 here, 11-10. Going inside with it. As they float it up, they get fouled. And they're going to go to the free throw line, shoot 2 now. I think that's going to be with Florida Gulf Coast here. They're going to shoot 2 at the line with number 2, Bernard Thompson. It's a sophomore from Conyers, Georgia. So 13:20 left to go in the first half. Florida Gulf Coast by 1, 11-10. First shot at the line, no good. Missed free throw by Thompson. At least it starts with an H and not with an F. Because that would be called the Fanta virus, and Fanta is one of those orange drinks, so it would be another one of those associated with a drink. Both free throws missed at the line. Georgetown got the rebound, went dribble drive right into the lane, laid it up and in for 2. 12-11 to score. 7 minutes through, 13 left to go in the first half. Eagles with the basketball, top of the key, passes inside. They lost control of the ball, diving for it right in the key. Georgetown with a steal. And we're going to have a tie-up right here on the court. We'll see whose possession arrow it appears to be in just a moment. But Georgetown appeared to steal the ball, but Florida Gulf Coast went back at it. It was a tie-up right in the key. It's going to be Georgetown possession. So it will be the Hoyas now possession hour. 12:49 left to go. 12-11 to score. Georgetown by 1. They dribble past the half-court logo here with their point guard, Markel Starks. Starks passes inside. They move it back to the right corner. And Georgetown's got the ball around the perimeter. Over into the hands of Smith Rivera. Moves it over left wing to left corner. Georgetown left baseline dribble with a reverse hand. They got it to fall. They're going to get the foul as well. Yes, they are. So Georgetown gets fouled. They go inside. Reverse hand layup counts. They're going to go to the free throw line to shoot one shot as well, as that was number 5 at the line, Markel Starks. Georgetown leading by 3 here. I know, same to me, man. I hope it can be back soon. I hope to go to a game at Providence next year, man. Same with you. That would be awesome if we could go to a game at Providence. Shot at the free throw line. Missed shot right there by Georgetown. Rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. 12.5 left to go. We got a foul away from the basketball. It's going to be a Georgetown foul. Oh, man. Today I went to the gas station and I had to wear my gloves at the gas station to touch the gas pump, because who knows who has been touching the pump at that gas station. I put my gloves right into the washing machine like once I got home. 14-11 to score, 12-10 remaining. Hey, welcome in, Ryan, man. Thanks so much for stopping by, bud. Oh, that's awesome, dude. A random XFL player got him 7K for his views. That's awesome, dude. Good job for you, man. Congrats, bud. 3-point shot, no good, off the mark by Florida Gulf Coast. Rebound by Georgetown. Georgetown now with the ball, left wing perimeter, passing it top of the key here. That'd be awesome to get a David Duke jersey, man. Georgetown now with the ball. A flashback to the past year. I was your age, guys. I was a junior back in high school 7 years ago when this game was going on. 17 years old. And what a game it was. I actually didn't see the game. I had baseball tryouts during this day, but we were hearing the updates during tryouts, and it was something for sure. And it was to talk about for the next week or so. Georgetown hits the jumper. They lead by 5 now, 16-11. 11:20 remaining. Florida Gulf Coast now with the basketball. Dribbles past half court. Bounce pass over right wing perimeter. And we're going to fall away from the ball. It's going to stop the clock here. It's going to be offensive. So offensive foul here by the Eagles, I think. It's now 16-11. 11:16 remaining. Yeah, Jack. Maybe Tennessee can get a lot of practice before next year. That could be a big benefit to like Tennessee's players, because like it all depends on the geography. This is such a weird year that it all depends on where you live now to practice basketball in the geography. If you have like a basketball hoop back in your yard or so, or in your driveway, you're absolutely golden. If you got something paved out there for a basketball hoop, because you can't go nowhere. This is so weird. It's gonna affect how the game just gets played once again once everybody starts up, because all training facilities are down right now. Like everything gets affected. 16-11 to score. 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Florida Gulf Coast now with the ball top of the key. Moves over, slides it over to the left corner perimeter. Dribble drive inside as they float it up, but that shot gets blocked from behind. And now it's Georgetown with the ball. Georgetown to gut it. Dribbling around the perimeter. We get a foul by Florida Gulf Coast, though. But yeah, the only people that's actually benefited from this right now would like not going anywhere. Like if you're an athlete, you can't train for this. Like, you don't have access to a gym right now. If you're a basketball player, your best hope is that hopefully you're able to have like a basketball hoop right in your driveway to start shooting shots again and start to get back into form. Because if you don't, if you played like at like a training facility or a recreational court in the city, they shut those down right now. Like basically the majority, if not all, of the recreational basketball courts right now in the U.S. have been shut down. Because they don't want anybody hanging out in packs there at the basketball court. So it's all about the only people that's benefiting from it is the players that have driveways able to shoot the basketball just by themselves. Missed shot right there by Florida Gulf Coast. Georgetown going inside, floats it up, no good. They get the tip in though. It's going to count for 2. 18-11 now, 7-point game, 10 minutes remain in the first half. Florida Gulf Coast has a free throw circle. Dribble inside right there, floats it up with a contact, but it's before the shot counted, so it's going to be a foul by Georgetown. Oh, that's awesome, man. Ryan's got a new video out now. Feel free, guys, check him out, cranking out the free agency videos for the NFL. So check out my man Ryan's channel as well, doing an awesome job there on his channel. As we get back to action, 7-point game, 18-11. Georgetown now by 7. As Florida Gulf Coast has got the basketball. Jumper in the key. It's off the mark. No good there. Georgetown has got the rebound. The Hoyas move it over right wing into the hands of Smith Rivera. Passes over left wing now. So it goes to the left corner perimeter for the Hoyas. Hoyas pass it top of the key. They're on an 8-zip run last 3:20 or so. Off the pick and roll. Georgetown takes a 3. No good off the mark. They get the offensive rebound. Puts it up too high. Another offensive rebound. Couldn't put it up, and the Eagles finally get a rebound. 9:20 remaining. Florida Gulf Coast has it. Dribbles now into the key. Floats it up. It's off the back iron. Rolling around. And both of these teams are cold right now from the floor. Wow, they have 11 points and we're already halfway through the first half. They finish up with 78. So, second half must have been a huge second half. 18-11. No good on the shot by Georgetown. Florida Gulf Coast gets it. Dribble drive inside with contact. It's going to be a foul, and the Eagles will go to the line and shoot two. It's going to be at the free throw line here. It's going to be Sherwood Brown. Yeah, everybody's super duper high on Deshaun coming to the Patriots. Also, Cam Newton. A lot of people, a lot of New Englanders just don't have any confidence right now in Jarrett Stidham. His teammates do. I feel like they're just going to roll with Jarrett Stidham and see how this year goes. Good at the free throw line there by Florida Gulf Coast, 18-12. Hey, welcome in, Jacob here. Thanks so much, man, for stopping by. Is there a buzzer beater or a comeback? Actually, it's a major upset in this one. We get to see like a major upset in this game with Florida Gulf Coast in this one. Second shot, no good. Well, they are down right now. They're down by 6 points. Yeah, a lot of monster slam dunks in this one. This is why they call them Dunk City from this team that made the Sweet 16. 18-12 now the score. 8:45 left to go. Am I surprised that Brazil hasn't done nothing about it? No. I'm not surprised at all. The president already tested positive in Brazil. They're not taking it seriously as well. It's just, it's a major problem there. Like I bet you that like 95% of the people in Brazil are going to get infected by this because they're not following any like protocol whatsoever. They're all hanging out in packs. They're not doing social distancing. They're just hanging out together on the beaches of Rio and trying to protest it and think that it's a myth when they're all getting sick right now. 18-12 to score. Florida Gulf Coast floats it up. That one's no good off the back iron. Too strong. Rebound by Georgetown here. 8:15 left to go. They only got 12 points. 12 points right now by Florida Gulf Coast. That is it. They finish up with 78. Georgetown's got the ball. Right wing perimeter. Into the hands of Michael Hopkins. Hopkins passes top of the key over to Porter. Porter now with the basketball. Hands this one off to Lubick. Lubick swings it over to the left wing. 7:55 left to go. Passes over now left baseline for Georgetown. 6-point game. Hoyas still with the ball. So they swing it over to the right wing. They're going to take a three. It's up. No good. Hit the front rim. They get the offensive rebound. They put it up. And it's no good. Tipped around. Rebound here by the Eagles. Florida Gulf Coast with the ball. Moves it up. Oh, 2-on-1 fast break. And they use it to their advantage as they lay it up and in right there with a behind-the-back pass. 18-14 now. Georgetown leads by 4. As they get the basketball. Hoyas have it. Free throw circle. Moves it over right wing. Yeah, man. Me too. I really do hope that Jarrett Stidham can prove himself this season. 18-14. That is a shot no good. It got blocked by Florida Gulf Coast. Eagles get the basketball. Hey, welcome in, Sabrina here. Thanks so much for stopping by. I know it's just really sad to hear about Brazil. They're just not taking it seriously right now. It's like, it's really sad. Florida Gulf Coast shoots the three. They drain it down from behind the arc. And the timeout taken by Georgetown now. It's 18-17 to score. As we do another blast from the past here on the channel right now. Play-by-play. I was back in my junior year of high school. I was 17 7 years ago when this game played. 18-17, 7 minutes left to go in the first half. So all the other number 2 seeds, all the other number 2 seeds won their games that year. Duke defeated Albany. Miami won against Pacific, and Ohio State beat Iona. Hey, welcome in, Lex here. Thanks so much for stopping by. How you feeling, Lex? Hopefully Lex is feeling better. But thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I think I'm probably gonna do Kentucky versus Duke probably from 1998. Hopefully, I know Jason wants that one. Hopefully he's around and able to come in for the game, but he was the one who was asking me for it or so. Or maybe I'll hold that one for the weekend. I'll have to see what else I have up my sleeve. But I wanna do that hopefully soon here. Vegas Vix was in the 4th grade back in the day for this game. It's crazy how time just flies by. Georgetown just got fouled. They're going to go to the free throw line. 6:55 left to go. First shot's up, and that one is good. At the line by Hopkins. 2-point Georgetown lead, 19-17. Michael Hopkins with a second one at the line. And that one's good as well. It's a 3-point game, 20-17. I have a couple like 90s games I want to do for like people that wasn't really like familiar with like 90s basketball or couldn't really like remember the games like me or so. Since I was born in 95, I didn't get hooked on like college basketball. I don't think I remember like watching games until like 2000s, like when I was 5 years old probably is when I have like my first memories of the games. 20-17 to score. Florida Gulf Coast turnaround jumper. Nikita Allen gets blocked though. So the Eagles get it back. They have it around the perimeter. Florida Gulf Coast. And they moved it outside, but it's going to be a offensive foul by the Eagles anyway. Georgetown will get it right back. 20-17. They only got 17 points right now. And we got 6:20 remaining before halftime. Georgetown will get right back with a basketball here. This is Devontae Smith-Rivera. He has it top of the key. Moves it over left wing. Back over to Smith-Rivera. Vegas Vix used to wear his old Navy sweater back in 2013. The classic times there. In the 4th grade. I remember I used to wear like a sweatshirt, I think in the 6th grade. It used to be Element for skateboards. I remember like I was into like skateboarding back in like the 5th and 6th grade. The J League has extended their season to May 9th, and the K League has April 3rd rescheduled to resume. Oh, wow, Korea, right on schedule there. Hopefully everybody can learn and follow Korea. Everybody can use Korea as an example to this because they're doing an incredible job over there in Korea. 20-17 to score. Korea could really set everything for they could be the example for Brazil. What's the favorite one I've covered so far? Ooh, good question here. Probably... Yeah, probably the last one I did, Northern Iowa against Kansas, because that was, like, the game that basically I remember in its entirety that put, like, March into, like, the madness into March right there. It was absolutely crazy. Like, I remember watching that, and, that was the game I got hooked on, like, Kevin Harlan. Like, I was like, dude, this guy's awesome here with Kevin Harlan. Like, absolute great announcer. I want to do some games with Gus Johnson as well. Some of the games that Gus Johnson calls. I think one of them is from, like, 2006. I think it's somebody against Gonzaga. Somebody took on Gonzaga. It was a really good game. 20-19, both of the shots went down at the free throw line by Florida Gulf Coast. Georgetown went left baseline dribble. They just got fouled, though. So, Jabril Treywick here at the free throw line for Georgetown. He missed the shot in the bonus, though. Rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. 5.5 left to go. Yeah, that was the last one I covered. Had some and one Walmart shoes in 2013 Vegas Vix is putting out here. Yep, 2 versus 15 in this one. Quite the name we got on the channel right now as we approach the 5-minute mark left to go. Florida Gulf Coast has it, takes a deep 3. It's no good around the left wing perimeter. Rebound back over to Georgetown here. The Hoyas get the basketball, dribbles past the half-court logo. On the under 5 remaining, they lead by 1. 20-19. Georgetown now with the ball. Passes over free throw circle, moves it out. Left corner perimeter for the Hoyas. Hoyas have it, bounce pass, left corner. They back their way inside the low post. Now into the key, they put it up, and now no good off the backboard. Rebounded by the Eagles here. Florida Gulf Coast got it in transition now. They leave it around the perimeter. Dribble drive inside. Oh, they tried to go with a floater. It was blocked, though. It's going to be a blocking foul, though, by Georgetown, stopping the clock with 4:29. Oh, wow, Jack wore... Wow, you were Izad's at skull. Wow. Throwback there. He also had Shaq shoes back in the day. Throwbacks, the back of the day stuff. First shot, no good at the free throw line by Florida Gulf Coast. They missed a lot of free throws so far. Second shot by the Eagles. They get that one. This game's tied up 20 even. The Bruins. 4:20 left to go. Georgetown now has the ball. Right wing perimeter into the hands of Devontae Smith-Rivera. Moves it over top of the key here for the Hoyas. Hoyas have it. Moves it over. Top of the free throw circle. Now the Lubick lost control of the ball. Florida Gulf Coast bursts of speed here. Goes inside. Two players to beat and threads the needle. Lays it up and in off the transition. And they get it for two. 2-point lead right there by the Eagles. Georgetown right back with the basketball. Looks like he's going to change his name. There we go. 3:45 left to go. Florida Gulf Coast an 11-2 run. Georgetown now has the ball. Dribbles left wing perimeter. Moves it out top of the key. Georgetown's got it. Hands it off now. Makes their move inside. Swings it back over to the right wing into the hands of Smith-Rivera. He's got the ball. 6 in the shot clock. Passes over left wing here. Georgetown now with the basketball. 3 in the shot clock too. They got to take a jumper. They do. And that one, it's going to hit the front rim. No good. It's going to be an offensive foul anyway by Georgetown. They pushed off in the three-point shot. And it's going to go right back over to Florida Gulf Coast. Do I think that we'll see Serie A play games on April 3rd? No. No chance right now with Serie A playing games on April 3rd, unfortunately. Vaughn. So right now we're just on break. We're going to get right back into this game in just a moment here. Last name is Lopez, by the way. Oh, they left the commercials in. I was wondering why this video was so long. So I'm just going to fast forward here through this right now. That was a first round game. Oh my goodness. Villanova against North Carolina. That was a first round game. Number 8 versus number 9 back in 2013. That's crazy. That's crazy. $15 versus 2 upsets. We're taking a look. Yeah, it was Norfolk State against Missouri. I remember that crushed my bracket. Lehigh against Duke. Those were the 2 from last year. Back, from the year before 2013, back in 2012. 22-20, Florida Gulf Coast by 2 here, as we got 3:15 remaining. The Eagles now with the basketball, left corner perimeter, moves it out top of the key for Florida Gulf Coast. It's into the hands of Chase Feeler. He swings it over top here to Eric McKnight. Back over to Feeler, bounce pass to the left wing. Now they dribble top of the key. 3 minutes remain, 13 in the shot clock for Florida Gulf Coast. Still around the perimeter with the basketball. So they take a 3, that one's off the mark, no good. Tipped around to get the offensive rebound, puts it up, and it's going to be blocked, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds as well. Last touch by Otto Porter at Georgetown, so Florida Gulf Coast will get that right back. Actually not. Same as J-Lo. So actually, no relation at all, but we used to play his Throwback song with my drum group back in the day. 22-20 to score, 2:49 left to go. Is anybody else here in quarantine? I am actually not in quarantine here because I'm an essential worker, so the past 2 days especially, it's been like a lot or so being an essential worker, working at the radio station, and I've just recorded with people nonstop. Like, oof. Big oof to some of the people I've recorded with because they're sneezing all over the place in my room, on the microphones, and ooh. Hopefully everything just goes well for me because people are just hacking all over the place. I'm like, no. Can't be doing that right now. 22-20, 2:40 left to go. As Georgetown's got the basketball, moves it around the perimeter. It's so odd, though. Driving to work now, it seems like it's a ghost town. Georgetown, down by 2. They get the ball now, 2.5 remaining as they got it top of the key here for the Hoyas. Puts it over to the right wing perimeter into Smith-Rivera's hands, who passes it now over into the hands of Lubick. Lubick now takes the 3, that one's off the mark, tipped around, rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. 2-point game, 2:13 remaining as Florida Gulf Coast has the basketball. inside the low post, looking to pass it back. I actually had to get like a written document by my the radio station GM. She gave me a written document, and she told me that like if any like police officer questions me or anything, like why I'm out on the roads, that I just have to hand over the written document over to the police officer, and then they'll let me pass. Cause I guess right now it's just they're in some of the areas they're blocking off streets and stuff to let people through to go to work. It's absolutely crazy. 22 to 22 minutes remaining. Florida Gulf Coast now with the basketball. They're like checking cars like left and right on the road where I am to see if they're actually supposed to be out on the road. A minute 40 left to go in the first half. Got quite the name here. They changed. KHL and Russia canceled the season. Yeah, that's probably a wise thing there for KHL to cancel, because Russia's gonna be in the worst of it in like a little bit. Russia's probably like 3 weeks behind us most likely, because it's starting to hit Russia right now. Georgetown goes inside. They score. It's a tie game here, up at 22. 1:10 remaining. Yeah, maybe sometime, man. Maybe sometime I'll bring out the tunes for you guys. Wow, Jacob putting out in his city, you can get pulled over just for driving if you're not an essential worker. Wow, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I feel for all the people in the cities right now. Like, if you grew up, like, in a really, like, populated area, I feel for you guys. Because, where I live, I live in a town of, like, 10,000 people, and it just got here today. Somebody tested positive. So one person out of, like, the 10,000 in my town, somebody tested positive. Whereas, like, in the city, you got a whole lot more people. It's crazy. I feel, especially for New York City right now. Whoever's out there, I feel for anybody like around like New York City or like Westchester County. That's like the worst part of it. Out in New Jersey, it's bad. 22-22, 26 seconds remaining. Florida Gulf Coast goes right there in the backdoor cut. It's gonna be a Georgetown foul, and the Eagles should be going to the line, shoot two here at the free throw line. Yeah, grocery stores are open, pharmacies are open. That's what I'm saying. What if you need food? I think you can tell the cop that you need to get food, and then some of the I think some of the cops they might block off like the road or so. They might like block off the road or so at like the intersection of the grocery store, and then tell you that you can't go like any further, that you have to go to that grocery store only and shop there. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what's going on right now. It's like a ghost town going to work today. And they get both to the free throws at the line by Florida Gulf Coast. So they lead by 2, 24-22. Georgetown with the basketball, 20 seconds left to go before halftime. They got it now at the edge of the half-court logo here for Georgetown. 12 seconds remaining. Hoyas got the basketball now into the hands of Starks. Starks dribbles right wing perimeter, passes over right corner. 4 seconds, passes now, free throw circle, 1 second, going inside, and they lose control of the ball. Terrible clock management there by Georgetown as we go into halftime. They couldn't even get a shot off as Florida Gulf Coast stopped them. So they passed it with a second remaining from the corner perimeter inside at the free throw circle, and they lost control of the ball as we go into halftime. Now it's 24-22. The Cinderella starting up the 2013 tournament. Florida Gulf Coast with a blast in the past here against Georgetown on the play-by-play of a throwback here 7 years ago. Oh, wow, Vegas Vix's mom works at Needle Tech in Mass, and she has to go into work, so she's an essential employer as well. I feel for all those people working, I feel for those people who work in grocery stores right now, because those are getting, really crowded, and they got they got tons of places that are, high, frequency touch zones, like shopping carts, the grocery counters, tons of stuff there that's just high touch zones that they have. So right now we're just on break. Looks like he's putting out 653 cases where he is. My state's got 1,800. My state almost has 2,000 right now. Jack putting out here. Oh, I feel for you, Jack. Prayers out to your daughter. We're all gonna make it through here. Stay strong, everybody. Stay safe. But I feel for Jack's daughter living out in Seattle. It's creepy there. I hear you. I hear you. I think the tactic's working as far as San Francisco, like shutting down their city, like they shut it down a week ago. That's working right now, according to like statistics and stuff. What's coming in about San Francisco and New York City just did it way too late, because now that's the problem. And then New York City shut down. It's gonna be Miami. Miami and New Orleans. That's going to be the next problem there, especially Miami, because there was people on spring break there, like the college kids, like 18 to 21 year old college kids, just didn't take it seriously, and it's a major problem over in Miami now. They just had a skyrocket of cases. I feel for Jacob's sister, who has to treat corona patients there. Because she's a nurse, man. I feel for you guys. Hopefully everybody can stay safe, but that's hospital workers, grocery store workers, truck drivers, pharmacists. I feel for each and every single one of those, because they're actually working with people, especially the nurses. I mean it's all up to them to see if they can help like boost up the survival rate here. But it all depends on what we got. It all depends on the respirators and everything coming in. So it starts off at the very top with what's coming in. Yeah, Brazil's gonna skyrocket. Watch out for them. And Vaughn, next 2 weeks or so for Brazil, they'll be over 100K with their cases, because it's not looking good. They're gonna pass China. They're going to pass China in the span of these next 2 weeks, I feel like, because they're not taking it seriously at all. I feel like 95% of Brazil is basically going to get infected, unless they take like any like measures to stop it. Vegas Vix's town had 2 cases here this week and last week. Oh man, we got our first one today. Oof. Yeah, they passed the stimulus package. I have no clue. They were thinking about maybe May, but I'm not sure. It all depends. Yeah, that's good there, Jacob. So he lives in Indiana. No tourists coming here. That's good. Actually, Rhode Island's got really low cases for Rhode Island. They got one of the lowest in the U.S. I think. They only got like I feel like 120 something or 130 something for Rhode Island. They only got 8 new cases today. Rhode Island 2 days ago got 23 cases, and today they got 8 cases. Do I want to be a doctor right now? No, that's the last thing I want to do, Vaughn. My neighbor across the street though, he's got like family and friends out in Italy, and one of his friends works works as a doctor there in Italy, and he was telling my mom yesterday that his friend in Italy has 19 patients right now, all on respirators, in the ICU in Italy. And basically, it's gotten so bad over there in Italy that the hospitals are all crowded that they have to choose who to give the respirator to in order to save a life. Like, it's so sad, so sad. Yeah, that's unfortunate there with the Middle East countries shaming people for having this. And people in Brazil think that this is all like this is all like a myth and everything. They're not taking it serious at all. So we're gonna get back to action here. We're just at halftime. Gonna move this over to the second half. Yeah, one of the cases he puts out was in Lincoln. Hopes others aren't in Woonsocket. I think I heard one of them was. I can't get like any of the news for your town though. I've been following a lot for the Attleboro Sun, and they tell me like locally where the cases are, because I know today Rentham and Plainville got the first cases. And, it's, so, like, everything, basically, it's surrounded. I know Attleboro's got a ton of cases right now. Somebody got one that was a high school student in, that town. So right now we're just at halftime, going into the second half. I'm going to just fast forward through all of this. So it looks like they did like a preview and everything. Okay, so 24-22, we're going to go back for the second half in this one. Florida Gulf Coast shooting the ball 8 for 26. That is it. Both of these teams stoned cold in the first half. So talk about the second half here. We're going to have a point explosion here in the second half because Florida Gulf Coast goes from 24 to 78 here in the second half. Alright, so we will start off half number 2 now of basketball action. Florida Gulf Coast will possess the ball first. So we start out second half. They go left to right in the court. The Eagles take the three, top of the key. It's up, and it's good. Just like that, we have a bucket. Big three-point shot extends it to 5. Oof, that's not good. Every 10 minutes, there's somebody passing away in Iran. Oof. Yikes. And people are shaming people in the Middle Eastern countries for getting it when Iran's already got in. Somebody passes away in 10 minutes. It's so sad. Going inside right there in transition, Florida Gulf Coast jams it down for 2. It is Feeler, and it is a 7-point game. 19-20 remaining. Georgetown's got the ball, left wing perimeter. Hoyas pass it over. Now off the backdoor cut, low post, puts it up, and they bank it up and in off the backboard for 2. So that one counts, 5-point game. Yep, definitely, my man. Gotta just take it day by day here, week by week. Very encouraging signs from Rhode Island. Everybody's taking it super duper seriously there, that the cases have gone down from 23 to 18, now to 8 today. And Vegas Vix's state, in my state, the cases went up all the way from I think it was 125 to 350 to 600 and something today. They had 600 and something brand new cases. My county alone went all the way from 32 to 61 in one day for cases. And I live in a pretty small county with not really that many people in it. We only have we only have 4 cities in the county, but it's no cities are greater than 100K as far as people that live there, and then it's just a bunch of small towns in my community with 10,000 or less. 29-26 to score. Florida Gulf Coast with the basketball, right wing perimeter. But Mass is doing a crazy amount of tests. They did I think 4,500 tests today in the state of Mass, which is crazy. Right baseline jumper off the mark. Rebound by Georgetown as they go up inside and lay it up and in for 2. Oh my goodness, an 18-year-old in California? This is serious. This is really serious. That's so sad. 29-28 to score. Florida Gulf Coast up by 1 right now as we're going to go into break in this one. We'll be back after this break. Let's see here. A lot of victories in this tournament. Harvard won against New Mexico. Harvard was a 14 seed, beat New Mexico as a 3. California was in the tournament back in 2013. They beat UNLV as a 5 seed. Oregon was a 12. They won against Oklahoma State. Ole Miss won against Wisconsin. Ole Miss was a 12 seed. And LaSalle, the Explorers, were a 13 seed. They won against Kansas State, who was a 4 seed. Alright, we're going to get back into this game. 17:49 remaining. 1-point lead now by Florida Gulf Coast. And the Eagles got the basketball now as we get back to action. Top of the key, they dribble inside, floats it up, it's up, and it's good for 2. They get that shot up and in, 31-28. 17.5 remaining now. Georgetown, I think, did they commit the foul as well as there was contact or no? No foul, so it's going to go right back over to Georgetown. So it was just contact, but they didn't call whistle on the foul. Georgetown's got the ball now around the perimeter, right wing with it. Bounce pass over to the right corner, takes a 3, and they launch, and they got it. 3-point shot going down there by the Hoyas. This game is tied up. 31 even, 17-20 remaining. Eagles now with the basketball as they dribble past half court. Florida Gulf Coast has it. Top of the key here. So that's Brett Comer. Moves it over to the left corner. They dribble now baseline. Flings it out. Inside low post. And it's going to be tipped out of bounds. Refs are going to say last touched out of bounds by Georgetown. Florida Gulf Coast will get it. They'll inbound it in the front court right underneath their hoop now for Florida Gulf Coast. 17:05 left to go. The Eagles pass it now top of the key. They're going to take a three automatically. They got it. Hits it up right there from the outside. It's 34-31 with Bernard Thompson with a three-point shot. Under 17 remaining now. Georgetown right back with the ball. They have it right wing perimeter for the Hoyas. Second half, though, they're a perfect 4 for 4 right now from the floor. They move it over left wing perimeter. Into the hands of Lubick, going inside the low post now. Puts up the hook shot. It's no good off the mark. Rebound back over to the Eagles. Florida Gulf Coast has it. Dribble drive inside with the right hand. They can't get it, but they put it back in with a slam right there. As they tear it up for two. As that bucket will be by Eddie Murray right there for the two-handed jam. 36-31. 16:20 remaining. Yes, I do know, Vaughn, about that seafood market. They probably sold fish over there from 2001 as well, as that was the start of how this whole thing has come across right now throughout the world from the seafood market with the crazy thing that happened over there. Georgetown misses a shot, the left corner three, rebound over by Florida Gulf Coast. We've got a foul by Georgetown here. It's going to be a reach and foul, and Florida Gulf Coast stops the clock now. So that's where this whole tale starts off from. So we got 16 minutes remaining. Florida Gulf Coast inbound. Shot fake at the right wing. They put it back to the right corner. Going to take a three. It is up. It is good. Hits the triple from behind the arc. They lead by 8. 39-31, 15:50 remaining. Georgetown trailing by 8. They dribble past the half-court logo with Jabril Treywick. Treywick moves it over right wing perimeter. Back to the top here to Smith Rivera. Smith Rivera moves it over. Off the backdoor cut inside the low post. So there's going to be a blocking foul by the Eagles here. Georgetown will go to the line, shoot two. 8-zip run by Florida Gulf Coast. 15.5 remaining. Andy Enfield is the head coach of Florida Gulf Coast. He is only in his second season with a 39-27 record. Yeah, they closed down in January, and hopefully they always stay shut for now until forever. First shot's up, first shot's good. You don't want anything else to happen over there with crazy things and new inventions. Second shot, that one's up, that one's through. It's a 6-point game, 39-33, 15.5 remaining. As Florida Gulf Coast has got the basketball. They dribble past the half-court logo now for the Eagles. They lead by 6. Dribbling now left wing with Bernard Thompson. Thompson now dribbles right wing perimeter with it. Makes his move inside. Low post. Floats it over to the left corner. Passes over top of the key to the right wing to the right corner. For Florida Gulf Coast, they got the basketball. Moving it all over the perimeter. To the left wing. 15:10 remaining. 8 on the shot clock. Florida Gulf Coast has it into the hands of Thompson. Thompson now dribbles. Top of the key. Moves it over off the backdoor cut. And they're going to jam it down for 2 right there. Right-handed slam going down by the Eagles. And this is where we coined the term in the second half, Dunk City. That is 2 slam dunks now in the second half. They lead by 8. Georgetown now with the ball. Takes the jumper. That one's off the mark. They get the offensive rebound. Puts up the 3. Left corner. It's off the mark again. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Hoyas. And Florida Gulf Coast will get it back. 14:43 remaining. And Georgetown just absolutely just confused here with a lot of these backdoor cuts that Florida Gulf Coast is gaining separation and jamming it down. The Eagles now right back with the ball. Moves it over top of the key. Dribbles to the free throw circle. Passes over left baseline. He got the jumper and it's up and good for 2. Drills down one. 10-point lead, largest of the game so far by the Eagles. That shot goes down right there by Eddie Murray. 14:15 remaining. Georgetown now with the basketball. Hoyas have it right wing perimeter. Moves it over to left wing. Into the hands of Smith Rivera. Passes over left corner. Inside low post turnaround. It's going to go no good. Off the backboard. Rebound back over to the Eagles. Florida Gulf Coast got it. Dribbles past the half-court logo. They get the top of the key. Moves it over. They're going to take a 3. It's up. It's good. Money. from behind the arc. If you're Georgetown now, you got to take a timeout. 13:52 remaining. That's exactly what Georgetown does. Florida Gulf Coast getting on a big run here. So that three-point shot goes down by Sherwood Brown. He finished this game as the leading scorer, 24 points. Also, Bernard Thompson finished this game with 23. So 15-2 run here by the Eagles in the last 3.5 minutes. 46-33. Georgetown will get right back with the basketball. The Hoyas have the ball. Oh, it's tip deflected. 2-on-1 fast break. Florida Gulf Coast going inside and the ball gets tipped out of bounds. It's going to be a foul, though, by Georgetown, I think. It's going to stop the clock with 13:43. They had numbers there. 2-on-1 fast break transition. Oh, what a swat. What a swat there. Taking a look at the replay. Number 55, Jabril Treywick was the one who swatted that one and picked up the foul by Georgetown. 13:43 left to go. Florida Gulf Coast to the free throw line. Shooting 2 now. Sherwood Brown, he's got 14 points. He's 5 for 10 from the floor. First shot coming up by Brown at the free throw line. He nails that one. 14-point lead. 47-33. They start to pull away here. 15 versus 2. Second shot coming up by Sherwood Brown. It is up. It is good. Hits that one. 48-33 to score. Yeah, it's going up in Hong Kong. This is not good. It's going up in Hong Kong. Hopefully everybody just recovers from it. 48-33. Florida Gulf Coast will get back the basketball as well. They get it around the right wing of the perimeter. Passing over into the hands of Brett Comer. Feeds it out inside the low post. Ball gets deflected out of bounds. As Georgetown knocked it out of bounds. Florida Gulf Coast will get it right back. 15-point game. 13:20 remaining. Florida Gulf Coast passes over top of the key here. They're going to take a jumper. This one is up, and we get a foul by Georgetown. Stops the clock with 13:19. Talk about Georgetown's shortcomings in the tournament. 2012, they lost in the second round. 2011, lost in the first round. 2010, lost in the first round. And they lost, I remember that when they lost to Ohio in the first round. Lost in 2008 in the second round, so, Georgetown just, whenever they're a higher seed, they always get upset. First shot good at the free throw line by Bernard Thompson. It's 49-33. China Basketball League is going to resume on April 15th here. That's some encouragement for the NBA to hopefully be back by like mid-May. Hopefully. Second shot's good. 50-33. It's a 17-point lead here by a 15 seed. And a major upset. Cinderella here in the 2013 tournament. Florida Gulf Coast playing some defense. Georgetown takes a desperation 3. Hits the front rim. It's off the mark. No good. And tipped out of bounds by Otto Porter. Georgetown's going to go back to Florida Gulf Coast. 19-2 run. Last 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Florida Gulf Coast will inbound. They do. They're close to the half-court trap, though. They're able to escape it. And we're going to have a foul counted right there. Oh, it's going to be, let's see, is it going to be offensive or defensive? We're going to take a look once they reset. 13 minutes remain. 17-point lead. It's going to be offensive. So Florida State trying to get past the half-court logo, and they pushed off right there. Trying to gain separation. Georgetown's got it right back. The Hoyas now with the basketball, top of the key. 12:50 remaining. And they get called with offensive fouls. So back-to-back offensive fouls, and Florida Gulf Coast will get the ball right back. I would go more with March Madness because it's crazy with all like the upsets. It's like the upsets that make the upsets that make March Madness there with all the crazy stuff, and basically filling out the brackets like my favorite thing to do, and seeing like the games as they go by. Florida Gulf Coast off the backdoor cut, they jam it up, and that one's good for 2 by Chase Feeler. 19-point lead. 52-33. I don't think anybody guessed that this game would be coming when they picked the tournament teams back in 2013. I sure didn't. Georgetown, right there, right baseline, puts it up, and it's good for 2. It's 52-35. Florida Gulf Coast right back inside. He missed the jumper, though, off the mark. Rebound, Georgetown. Hoyas now with the basketball. Full court pass right up ahead of the pack, and it's going to be laid up and in right there for 2 by Otto Porter. It's going to be back to 15. 11:50 remaining. Eagles now with the basketball. They're on a 21-6 run last 5 minutes. Florida Gulf Coast has it top of the key. Little throwback here from 2013. The Eagles got the basketball. Right wing perimeters. They collide right into each other. It's going to be an offensive foul by Florida Gulf Coast. As Porter was going after the basketball. Georgetown should get it right back. So 52-37 now the score. We'll be back right after this. Wow. Northwestern State took on Florida back in the tournament in 2013. Wow. Second half points at this stage of the game. Florida Gulf Coast was dominating the second half points, 28-15 over Georgetown. And they had knocked down 6 3-point shots. 11.5 left to go in the second half here. Eagles now with the basketball. They got it left baseline dribbling. Florida Gulf Coast moves it over top of the key here for the Eagles. Swings it over right wing perimeter. Eagles got it. Back to the top for Florida Gulf Coast. Moves it over right wing perimeter for the Eagles. Bounce pass off the backdoor cut, but it goes out of bounds. Eddie Murray lost control of it. It's going to go right back over to Georgetown. 11:15 remaining. Georgetown will get right back with the basketball. And the Hoyas have it, top of the key. Moves it over left wing perimeter. Georgetown passes now left baseline, back of their way. Inside the low post, Hoyas put it up, and that shot gets deflected and blocked. Florida Gulf Coast in transition, going inside, and they get blocked from behind, and they'll go to the free throw line, shoot 2. Coming up here with Sherwood Brown, as that was a hard foul by Georgetown. So 2 shots coming up at the free throw line here by Florida Gulf Coast. Really hard foul by Georgetown with a lot of contact. Feeler going after number 23 for Georgetown, Aaron Bowen, after the whistle there as well. Yeah, if people come to the USA for South Korea, you have to quarantine for 14 days. That is understandable why. Same as probably they have that rule right now for all international countries. I think it was for New York City, you have to now quarantine for 14 days if you're traveling to another place in the area from New York City. 10:56 left to go. 15-point ball game. 52-37 is the score. Here, taking a look at the contact of that foul last. And Florida Gulf Coast will go to the free throw line. First shot's up, first shot's good. 53-37, 10:56 remaining. Sherwood Brown with 17. Looking for 18 right now, as he'll have a second one coming up at the free throw line. Brown shot, it is up, and no good, rolled out. It was also a technical foul by Georgetown, since the severity of the foul from behind. It was a hard foul right there by Georgetown. So Florida Gulf Coast as well. Oh no, it was... 1 second here, it was a foul. After the whistle, it was on the Florida Gulf Coast player, so it's going to go Georgetown free throw. So the technical is on Florida Gulf Coast. They missed the first free throw, though, with Aaron Bowen. Second free throw coming up by Georgetown. This one is up, and they got that one. 53-38. So they finally sort that all out. 10:56 remaining. And Georgetown will get right back with the basketball. Passing over left wing perimeter for the Hoyas. Moves it out top of the key to the right wing perimeter now for Georgetown. The Hoyas got it, 10:40 remaining on the clock. Passes over to the top. Georgetown's got it at the left wing. Moves it back top of the key here. Georgetown still with the basketball. Yeah, Mexico's like a warmer climate, so actually they don't have a lot of cases right now, which is good for them because a lot of people live in like clusters together in Mexico, especially Mexico City, where it's really poor out in Mexico City, dirt floors, and people are just crammed in together. 53-38 the score. Ball got deflected out of bounds. Georgetown will get it right back. Dribble drive. Inside the low post, shoots it up, and it's going to be an offensive foul called on Georgetown there as they ran over a Florida Gulf Coast defender in the lane. Number 55 for Georgetown commits the offensive foul, Jabril Treywick, and it's going to go right back over to the Eagles. Right in position there, 23, Eddie Murray for Florida Gulf Coast, and the Eagles will get it right back. Yeah, that's crazy, Vaughn, that they actually put out fans there to sporting events when they already had like over like 100 cases confirmed in Brazil. That's crazy. That's crazy. It was probably a soccer sporting event too, where they could fit in like 80,000 people into the arena or something crazy like that. Florida Gulf Coast dribble drive inside and get fouled once again. A lot of fouls here. 10:14 remaining. Yeah, I hope so, Jacob here, man. I really do hope so. Hopefully everything calms down. I had gotten tickets to go to a NASCAR race in July since I'm close to New Hampshire. I got tickets to go to the NASCAR race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, but I don't know. I don't even know if that's going to be even going on, depending on how this all goes. First shot's up. Florida Gulf Coast hits at the free throw line, 54-38. Yeah, feel free, guys. Check out Ryan's channel. Uploaded his first ever reaction video. That's awesome, man. I'll take a look at that later tonight. Second shot, that one's good up at the free throw line. Hey, welcome in, my man Kevin. Thanks so much, bud, for stopping by. Yup, Dunk City, throwback here 7 years ago. I'm doing well tonight. Thanks so much, man, for stopping by. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. 55-38 the score. 10 minutes remaining as we're halfway through this second half. Georgetown misses a shot. The ball gets deflected up in the air, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be last touched by the Hoyas, so it's going to go right back over to Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast with the ball. Oh, it's stolen right away by Georgetown, and they're going to slam dunk it right back. So it puts it to a 15-point game, 55-40. Florida Gulf Coast by 15. Half-court press set up there by Georgetown. Florida Gulf Coast able to get out of it. Otto Porter, he's got 7 points so far for Georgetown. The Eagles moving it around the perimeter. Now it's got it top of the key. Dribble drive inside. Moves it back out. Going to take a three. It's up. No good off the back iron. Tipped around to get the offensive rebounds. And we get a foul with a lot of contact as well. I think Georgetown's going to pick up the foul here. Yeah, and Florida Gulf Coast will be in the bonus. So they'll be in the bonus. They'll shoot the 1-and-1 at the free throw line. 15-point lead. Looks like number 0. Brett Comer will go to the line and shoot in the bonus here, 1-and-1. So Brett Comer coming up at the free throw line for Florida Gulf Coast, leading by 15. 9:22 remaining here. Hopefully everybody is safe out there. Staying out of crowds. First shot's up. First shot's good. Second shot coming up by the Eagles at the line. And it's up as well. 17-point lead here by Florida Gulf Coast, a 15 seed. Georgetown now with the basketball. Top of the key. Moves it over left wing. Into the hands of Hopkins, who moves it over now into the hands of David Allen. Passes over. Going to take a three. It's up. And it's good. Otto Porter connects on it from behind the arc. Puts it back to 14. 9 minutes remain. Florida Gulf Coast going inside. Floats it up, but it's no good right there. Air ball inside the key. Gets rebounded back over to Georgetown. Georgetown low post puts it up and in for two there by Smith Rivera. It's going to be a timeout taken here by Florida Gulf Coast. 57-45 as Georgetown's able to get on a little bit of a run As we got 8:53 remaining here on a throwback tonight, flashback to 2013. Largest deficit overcoming a win in that 2013 season was only 8 points against Syracuse. That was it for Georgetown. They finished off the 2013 season with a 25-7 record. That's kind of hard to imagine that the largest deficit, that they were only down by 8 points, they overcame that back in 2013, and that was their largest deficit. Yep, Nigeria should very well be prepared there. My heart goes out to everybody in the African countries, because they don't really have like any resources out there. Like, they probably don't even know what's going on right now because they don't have resources to the news and the internet. A lot of those people that live out in Africa, they all live together in like villages and like in huts out there, and that's very scary. That's scary to imagine, since they don't really have access to like any like type of news or communicative devices. 57-45, 12-5 run by Georgetown, last 3.5 minutes. Florida Gulf Coast has got the basketball, though. Right wing perimeter, 8.5 remaining here for the Eagles. They dribble now. Dribble drive inside. Floats it up, and it's good. Up and in for two off the backboard, as that one goes down by Brett Comer. 14-point lead once again. Georgetown right back with the ball. The Hoyas got it top of the key. Bounce pass now, free throw circle. Moves it back to the right wing. Georgetown swings it over left wing. Now back to the top here for the Hoyas. Hoyas now with the basketball as we approach the 8-minute mark left to go. Georgetown moves it over, takes a three, left wing. It's off the mark, no good. And it goes out of bounds. It's an air ball out of bounds by Georgetown. So it's going to go right back over to Florida Gulf Coast here with 8 minutes remaining. (59-45). Florida Gulf Coast gets the inbound. Otto Porter with 10 points. He's only 4 for 12 in this game. 14-point game. They split the double team trap setup. Florida Gulf Coast has got the basketball. Left wing perimeter. 7:50 remaining now as the Eagles got the ball. Moves it around the perimeter to the right wing. Now they pass it right baseline. Almost lost control of it. Going to float it back. It's going to go out of bounds. Turnover there by the Eagles. So they lost control of the ball. They tried to float it back. They stepped on the baseline. And Georgetown will get it right back here. 7:41 left to go. As we will go right back into this game. 4 made 3-point shots in the second half by Florida Gulf Coast. 2 by Georgetown. Hoyas now with the basketball. 7.5 remaining. They pass it over left corner perimeter here for Georgetown. Swings it out top of the key. Going to take a three. No good off the mark. Rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles now right back with the ball. Dribbles past the half-court logo with Brett Comer. Comer now with the basketball. 7:10 left to go. 14-point lead they've got. Passing over top of the key. Florida Gulf Coast has it. Swings over to Comer. Left wing perimeter here. 7 minutes remaining. They lob it over the top. They missed the alley-oop, though. It went off the backboard to get the offensive rebound, but they missed the setup for the alley-oop. They swing it out to the right wing. Dribbles now. Low post inside. Floats it up. No good. Tipped around, and the key couldn't get it. Rebound Georgetown. Hoyas right back with the ball. 6:45 remaining, and that ball gets poked right from behind. It's going to be a foul picked up by the Eagles. So Florida Gulf Coast picks up the foul with number 12 here on the court. That is Eric McKnight. As he reaches in. And McKnight's going to check out of the game right now on the bench. Georgetown will get back the basketball. 6:40 left to go as they inbound it. Hoyas now with the ball top of the key. They trail by 14. Bounce pass to the left wing perimeter. David Allen's got it for Georgetown. They're going to take a three. It's way off the mark. No good there. They fight for the rebound. They get the offensive rebound here by Georgetown. 6.5 remaining. Georgetown takes a three. Left wing. It's up. No good. Rebound back over to Florida Gulf Coast. Yeah, no reported cases in North Korea. No wonder why. You can't travel there. They don't like visitors. No wonder why. 59-45. Florida Gulf Coast has got it top of the key. 6 minutes remaining. Into the hands now of Sherwood Brown. Brown, bounce pass, low post, floater. And the key, it's off the mark, no good. Rebound back over to Georgetown. Georgetown has got it, 5:50 remaining. The Hoyas have the basketball. Moves it over to the top of the key to Starks. Starks here. Dribble drive inside. Floats it up. That one's good for 2. Cuts it right back to 12. Timeout taken on the court here by Georgetown. They've got 2 timeouts left to go. 5:42 remaining. 59-47 is the score. Alright, we're going to get back into this game right now after the timeout. 12-point lead here by Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles will get back the ball in just a moment. 5:42 left to go. The Florida Gulf Coast inbounds it. They split the trap now. Dribbles past half court to the right wing. 5.5 remaining. To the top of the key by Florida Gulf Coast. They lead by 12. Puts the ball into the hands of Comer here. One made shot in the last 7 minutes by Florida Gulf Coast as Georgetown. Still trailing by 12. They lost control of the ball there by the Eagles. Georgetown's got the steal. 5:20 remaining. They got it inside a low post. Hoyas put it up. No good. Rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. They were looking for a foul. Couldn't get one. 5:10 left to go. They still got to take it past the half-court. Look what they do. Spin move there. Comer going inside. Floats it back out. Left wing to the right wing. Open three. They're going to take it. It's up. No good. Off the back iron. Rebounded by the Eagles. We got a rebounding foul by... it's going to be a rebounding foul on Florida Gulf Coast. Hey, welcome in here, my man Alex. Thanks so much, bud, for stopping by from the DMV Sportsnet. Hopefully everything's going well with you. As he makes an appearance here on the channel. Thanks so much, man, for stopping by, bud. Hopefully everything's going well and you're staying safe there as well. 59-47. I know, man. Long time no see. 5 minutes left to go in a play-by-play here of a throwback here with an upset all the way back to 2013. Oof. You have to cut your hair if you're a woman out there. Oh, no. That's not good. Not good at all. That's unfortunate. Georgetown now with the basketball. They put up the jumper. That one's off the back iron. No good. Tipped around. Out of bounds. It's going to be a foul as well. By the court, it's going to be an Eagles foul. Georgetown's yet to be in the bonus, though. They're going to get an inbound, I believe. Hey, welcome in Hawkeye Nation here, man. Thanks so much for stopping by, bud. I got my cap here from college tonight again. So, college I went to at Curry. I've got here tonight. 4.5 left to go. Georgetown takes a three. That one's off the mark. No good. But we got a foul before the three-point shot, they're going to say, or during the process. They're going to sort it out right now. Yeah, it's been quite the week for me at work. Oh, wow. So, out in Maryland, Alex put out, Governor Hogan in Maryland announcing there will be no school until April 24th. Yeah, we got the announcement in my state today in Mass that there will be no school until May 3rd. So, no school until May in the state of Massachusetts. 58-47 to score. 4.5 left to go. Florida Gulf Coast trying to split the double team right there. They went inside. They almost got that one with a contact, but they got fouled. They're going to go to the free throw line shoot, too. First shot coming up. They hit that one down as the Eagles get it 60-47. It's just been crazy at work since I'm an essential worker, I guess. I work for a radio station, but I guess they call us essential workers. So, it's just been absolutely crazy like lately with all the news, because we have one story that we're covering, and this is what we're covering or so for like the next month and possibly longer. 61-47. 4:10 remaining. Eagles now with the basketball. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy what's going on right now. Oh, I was streaming almost at like midnight. Yeah, I was streaming like late the past couple of times or so. 3:57 left to go. 14-point game. A foul committed here by Georgetown. It's going to stop the clock. Florida Gulf Coast in double bonus. Going to shoot two here at the free throw line with number 25, Sherwood Brown. First shot coming up at the line by Brown. That one's up. That one's no good. Hit the front rim. Missed. Oof. Where's Cam Newton going to end up? Oof. He's probably going to be a free agent most likely. And like nobody's going to pick him up until like somebody gets an injury. Surprisingly. Second shot's good right there. 15-point game. They started out 4 for 10 at the free throw line. They've got a lot of free throws there ever since. 14 for 16 by Florida Gulf Coast. Inside low post, Georgetown floats it up, and they get fouled right from behind. 3:43 left to go, so the Hoyas will go to the line, shoot 2. Yep, the question that he said, Alex put out 1 million times. Can you show the game? Yep, John's always mad about that one. Classic. First shot's up, first shot's through at the free throw line. 14-point game, 3:43 left to go. Yeah, thoughts about Tom going to Tampa Bay? I was shocked. Like, I would have never imagined, like, a month ago, Tom going to Tampa Bay. I'm shocked right now, but he's got such, like, a stacked wide receiving core. He's able to go to that, he's going to be in playoff contention. That NFC South next season is just so stacked. It's crazy. 62-49. 3.5 remaining. I've yet to find a Rhode Island game to call. I'm waiting for March Madness to put up that Rhode Island versus Oklahoma game from like 2 months ago. I don't think they put it up yet. They've been putting up like a lot of like games or so, but that is one of the most underrated games in college basketball March Madness tournament history. It started out 2018 with a bang. Florida Gulf Coast floats it up. That shot is good for 2 right there in the key. They lead by 15. Georgetown takes the 3. Left corner. This one is up. This one is good. Knocking it down. It's a 12-point game. 3 minutes remaining. Oh, a steal by Georgetown on the inbound. They're going to get it back. Moves it around the perimeter. They're going to take another 3. And they knock it down once again. That's 6 straight points. Just like that, they have cut it to single digits here. 64-55. 2:47 left to go. This game's getting interesting, as Florida Gulf Coast has to take a timeout. Careless ball handling leads to a turnover in the inbound, and Georgetown to step back and take a 3. Yeah, Tampa Bay is going to be really good next year. They'll probably go 12-4. Will the NFL season be canceled? I don't think so. I don't think the NFL season is going to be canceled because it goes into December and January, and hopefully everything will be solved by then. Hopefully everything will be solved by Thanksgiving. That's what I really do hope for. I don't see it going all the way to Thanksgiving, though. Some people think it could go for like a year or like 2 years. I don't think it will go all the way to Thanksgiving, though. 2.5 remaining. Georgetown with another steal goes inside to get fouled. They're going to go to the free throw line, shoot 2. John's got a hockey channel. He's my best friend. He's got a hockey channel on YouTube. It's called Off the Wall Hockey. But Alex put it out here. John lost his mind when he did a recap live stream last week. His viewers are spoiling the game. Yep. And asked to show the game. Everyone, yep. People just spoil the game. That's unfortunate. 2:25 left to go. First shot coming up here at the free throw line. That one's up. That one's through. Georgetown cutting right into this. 8-point game. Second shot coming up at the line right now by number 5 for Georgetown. This is Markel Starks. We have 2 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. Starks missed the second one. Rebound by Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles get the basketball. They got to get past the half-court press, so this is going to be a tough one. Can he get right past it? They lost control of the ball as it goes out of bounds, but Georgetown picks up the foul as Florida Gulf Coast loses the ball right after. And it's going to send Florida Gulf Coast to the free throw line to shoot 2 here in a double bonus. 2:17 remaining. Florida Gulf Coast going to the free throw line. Going to shoot now 2 shots, double bonus. First shot's up. First shot off the back iron, off the top of the backboard, and it's going to go into the net. Will that count? Yes, it does. It counts right there for the free throw. That's too funny. Went off the back iron to the top of the backboard. Went back to the back iron and sinked into the net. That's too funny. Second shot, no good. Rattled out. Rebound, Georgetown. Yeah, I've got a smaller TV, so it's really tough on a 19-inch screen TV to see where the puck is. Georgetown misses a shot. They get the offensive rebound, tip it up and in for 2. 7-point game, 65-58, minute 55. left to go here in this one. Florida Gulf Coast, lob over the top. Oh, he's going to drop the axe right there. That's where it happens. A minute 55 left to go, and that's where Florida Gulf Coast takes the game, basically, and ices it up as he drops the hammer to him right there with an alley-oop. Just insane alley-oop there, if you guys remember the highlights. Just lobs it over the top and just dropping the axe right there. It was number 20 for Florida Gulf Coast. That was Chase Feeler, who just explosion right there as the whole crowd goes wild. Oh, that's awesome, Alex. You might go back on Sportscaster, do a recap live stream. Might do his most viewed live stream, 2020 World Junior Championships that he did. That's awesome, man. Ooh, Naismith Player of the Year for 2020. That's tight. That is tight there. Only 2 players stand. Obi Toppin or Luka Garza. I feel like national though, they're probably gonna give Obi Toppin it. Though for national. But I would go with Luka Garza in my opinion, just because of strength of schedule was so much tougher, and you have to see what he did with his team with the injuries this season for Iowa. It's incredible that they were in the tournament with tournament hunt with all the injuries that they had. No Jordan Bohannon, CJ Frederick missed like the back remainder of the season, and Luka Garza just exploded like every single game. Just incredible as Georgetown goes to the free throw line, hits it up and in. So I would go Garza there because of strength of schedule, but Obi Toppin does have a better supporting cast with him. But I feel like with his explosion, it's probably going to be Obi for the national most likely, because people love that stuff. How they were able to. How Zion got it last year. It's because he was an explosive player, and that's what Obi Toppin is, just thrilling with the dunks or so with Obi Toppin. But as far as like rebounding abilities and stuff like that, if you had to weigh in that, I would go Luka Garza there, and the strength of schedule for sure. 67-60, minute 36 left to go. Florida Gulf Coast was fouled. Yeah, man, feel free to try it. Alex here might stream on YouTube next year. Feel free to try it, man. First shot, that one's good at the free throw line by Florida Gulf Coast. Leads by 8, 68-60. I don't believe so. I don't believe they have named the Naismith Player of the Year yet. I'll take a look and see. Naismith Award 2020. Oh, they announced the 5 finalists, I think, for it. Let's see. Wikipedia. This Georgetown will go to the line. It's an 8-point game. Next stream. It all depends when I'm around. Probably tomorrow if all goes well. Georgetown hits the first shot at the free throw line. I'm still working, by the way, since I'm an essential worker, I guess. I work for a radio station, so it's just been crazy lately with like all the stuff we've been covering. I've had to record with like a bunch of people because because my job is recording all the people for the commercials, and a lot of people want like PSAs and stuff to tell about their businesses, that their business isn't open, or that they have to do like drive-through for like business now and stuff like that. Some of the people I work with are like parts of like a pharmacy company or like hospitals or so that come over to record have to like record their spots and stuff. Second shot's good at the free throw line. Georgetown commits the foul though, as Florida Gulf Coast will go back to the line. 1:16 left to go. First shot good by the Eagles here as they lead by 7. Yeah, Hawkeye Nation here putting out, surprised I know so much about Iowa ball. Yeah, I wish Jordan Bohannon was like, I wish he played for like the rest of the year where I was able to call the games and see him, because I remember calling 2 of the games last season's tournament, Cincinnati and Tennessee. And Jordan Bohannon just went off. He was like, he was going like Jimmer range there with some of his 3-point shots. It was crazy. Like, he was one of my favorite players to call in the tournament. It was like insane where he was going from 3-point range. It's sad that we won't be able to see him again though. Unless they grant seniors eligibility. That's the only thing. I haven't found that out yet. I just took a look at the player of the year. They haven't named 2020 yet. I think it's down to Obi Toppin, Luka Garza. I think Miles Powell was on the list too. From Seton Hall. There was, I think, 2 others. It was down to 5 finalists. They have a ice rink in Spain. They're going to turn into a hospital. Wow. I know in the state of Rhode Island, they're already looking at options there, like where Providence plays for basketball at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. They're thinking about turning that whole thing into the hospital if the hospitals get overcrowded. Georgetown takes a 3. It's up and good. 1:04 left to go. As Florida Gulf Coast gets fouled here, they're going to go back to the line, shoot 2 in the double bonus. So it's a 5-point lead now by Florida Gulf Coast, 70-65, 1:04 remaining. Okay, so here we go. So these are the 5 players. Luka Garza, Peyton Pritchard, Obi Toppin, Miles Powell, and Udoka Azubuike. So those are the 5 players right there. Azubuike for Kansas, Miles Powell for Seton Hall, Obi Toppin for Dayton, Peyton Pritchard from Oregon, and Luka Garza from Iowa. Yikes. USC is about to hit 70,000. Oof. That's not good. They're about to hit 70,000 where China was at 70,000 like in a month. USC has just hit it like basically in like a week and a half. That is sad. 72-65. This is out of control. South Korea has 104 new cases and 414 recoveries. That's good there for South Korea. Georgetown gets the ball right back. They just drained the 3 at 72-68. They drained the 3 with 51 seconds remaining. Florida Gulf Coast inbounds it. They get fouled. They're going to go to the free throw line and the double bonus shoot too. Hey, thanks so much, Alex, for stopping by here, man. I appreciate it, bud. Stay safe as well, man. Oh, Bohannon redshirted, so he'll be back next year. That's awesome, man. So hopefully I'll be able to see Bohannon throughout the season. That's great. Ryan's reaction might be his best video yet. Hopefully it gets picked up in the algorithm. That's awesome, man. Keep up the good work to your channel. That's great, dude. Yeah, Iowa looks so strong next year. They're projected right now, I think, as like a top 10 team. Because everybody's basically coming back. The 2 McCaffrey brothers should be much better next season. I think, who was it? Toussaint and Kriener. And Frederick's only a freshman. They're going to have a good team next year, especially if Luka Garza comes back for senior season. It's going to be one tough team to stop for next year. Florida Gulf Coast at the free throw line. First shot's up and good. 5-point game. Second shot coming up. That one's no good off the back iron. Rebound here by Georgetown. Hoyas now with the basketball. Dribbles past the half-court logo. They're going to take a 3. It's up. No good. Hit the front rim. Rebound back over by Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles got the ball now. Left wing perimeter. 38 seconds remaining, and we get a foul here on the court. It's going to stop the clock, and Florida Gulf Coast will go right back to the line, shooting the double bonus here. 2 free throws. With a 15 versus 2 throwback all the way back to 2013. Sherwood Brown, 7 for 10 in this game so far. Free throws, final 38 seconds. We'll go to the line, shoot 2. Sherwood Brown in this one, he was the leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast. He ended up with 24 points. Brown will shoot 2. Yep. That'd be cool someday to work for ESPN. That'd be nice sometime. First shot's good. Second shot, that one's up and through. 75-68. 33 seconds remaining. 3 taken. Georgetown's off the mark. No good. Rebound back by Florida Gulf Coast. And they're going to go right back to the line with 29 seconds. And they can feel it now. They can taste victory. Ooh, 3,947 people in China are still sick. Yikes. Well, hopefully everybody recovers there. Brett Comer going to go to the line. He's 2 for 2. Makes it 3 for 3. Florida Gulf Coast by 8. And Georgetown with their dream, it gets crushed in this one. 29 seconds remaining. Second shot coming up by Florida Gulf Coast. It is good. Hits that one at the free throw line. In the final 29 seconds, Georgetown with a basketball dribble drive inside, and they lose control of it. Stolen away by Florida Gulf Coast. 21 seconds. Foul with 20.7 on the clock here. And Florida Gulf Coast will go to the line. Shoot 2. So 20.7 left to go. 77-68 now the score. And they can taste it. I don't remember actually watching this game because I was at baseball tryouts during the day, but I remember getting the updates there from everybody on the baseball team, checking their phones during break time and talking about the game. First shot's good by Florida Gulf Coast, 78-68. Second shot coming up at the free throw line here by the Eagles, and no good. They missed it. Georgetown with a rebound, 20 seconds left to go. Dribbles past the half-court logo. They already know that they're done. They pass the ball, not even attempting to take a shot too soon. They finally float one up. That one's no good. Off the back iron. Rebounded by Florida Gulf Coast. And we got 5 seconds remaining. They're going to go to the line and get fouled before this one is ending here. As the players coming together. Can't believe they pulled off the upset, 15 versus 2. And the year before, there were two 15 versus 2 upsets. Lehigh with C.J. McCollum over Duke. And then also in 2012, there was Missouri versus Norfolk State. I called that game a couple days ago. 78-68, Florida Gulf Coast at the free throw line. That shot's no good. They missed it. 5 seconds remaining. They're going to inbound. Georgetown will not foul in any way. They'll be moving on to the next round, which indeed Florida Gulf Coast did survive and get the victory in the second round as they made their Cinderella run all the way to the Sweet 16 that season as a 15 seed and lost to in-state team Florida. They lost to the Florida Gators in the Sweet 16, 62-50, but they did win against number 7 seeded San Diego State in the second round, 81-71 in the second round game. But that's a wrap here at Dunk City. Florida Gulf Coast finished off the 2013 season 26-11 and with a first round upset over Georgetown, which Georgetown finished up 25-7. China with 67 new cases. Why are people flying into China? Yeah, they got a quarantine for 14 days. Hey, thanks so much, Patrick. I appreciate it for stopping by. Am I streaming another one tomorrow? The plan is for me to stream tomorrow if everything goes well. Tomorrow here. So the plan is to stream tomorrow. Make sure to just turn on notifications when you guys do know when I do go live for the next stream here. Because it's been crazy like lately at work and stuff like that as well, since I'm like an essential worker and things that it's been absolutely crazy, especially like recording with people lately and stuff like that. But prayers out to everybody. Stay safe here, everyone, and make sure to turn on that notification bell so you guys do know when I go live for the next stream. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow here, everyone. Had another blast calling this game for you guys. Throwback 7 years ago. Florida Gulf Coast winners over Georgetown 78-68. Thanks so much for stopping by, everyone, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Yeah, feel free, guys. Check out Ryan's video as well. It is hype as well on his channel. He's doing awesome stuff over there. NFL free agency, so check out his channel as well, guys. Cranking out the views. Got 7K on one of his streams, so make sure to check it out. And thank you all so much for stopping by here on the channel. And enjoy the rest of your night, everyone, and have a safe night, everyone. Prayers out to everybody, and have a safe night. We'll get through this together, everybody, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Take care, and have a safe night.